Hey guys, it's John with ReelBlue Custom Rods, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to do another truth about Versablend, ProWrap Versablend metallic thread, and today we're going to experiment with code 1008, which is Seafoam. When you can see that, barely see that color down there at the bottom. So what I want to do is we're going to go ahead and get started really quick. I'm really interested to see what kind of pattern that's going to come out using the same blank that I was using before for some of the other ones. This Versablend color has kind of a green blue with a little bit, I don't know, like a metallic copper or orange or brown maybe. So I think this first experiment, we're going to, so if you see right here on this thread that I'm moving, there's that red orange but next to the tape. Then it gets to the blue. And then it gets to the green and then back to that brown color. So I'm going to start here with the green. And then we're just going to see what it looks like. Tighten up my tension rod a little bit. All right. Okay, give that a tug. Cut the tip off. All right, and so we're gonna go the usual about 2 to 3 inches or so. I'm really interested to see how this comes out. So I'm starting to see a little bit of a, you slowly start to see that brown or orange copper line right there, kind of like an EKG line right there. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. I'm glad you found us. Let me know in the comments block down below if you've ever used the ProWrap Versablend metallic thread. Again, this is code 1008, and the name of it is Seafoam. I kind of like this already, I think. Although it's one line, like again, an EKG type line, heartbeat line. It kind of takes on that tiger wrap pattern, and that could be pretty cool for an underwrap, I think, for a guide wrap or an underwrap on a decorative or a butt wrap or something like that. And you can see that line right there. So it starts here. Again, we started with laying the green portion of the thread next to the tape. And so this is the pattern that we're getting. Kind of comes up and then drops off down here. And I'm interested to see what happens. So now it's starting, you can see there's a piece, and then here's the other piece coming in here. So this will be interesting as this comes in. Again, if you haven't seen the other episodes I've done on the truth about the Versablend, as a reminder, it only comes in 100-yard spools, the very small spools, which I think is enough if you're just doing some, under wraps for guides, something like that. Again, it is a metallic thread. And it's really kind of taken on that tiger wrap. I mean, not really, not a true tiger wrap, but it kind of has that like camo / tiger pattern. That's kind of interesting. I'm not sure why they call it Seafoam. Maybe because the green and the blue, but that brown is what is actually kind of creating that line. So let's just keep going for a little bit. And as a reminder, when you're doing this, things to take into consideration: what color are you starting with? When you have these multicolored threads like Versablend. Again, we started with the green. The next thing you need to take in consideration is the diameter of the rod where you're starting. And then, of course, the diameter of the rod as the blank tapers. So if you're doing long runs of a wrap, the pattern can start looking one way and can quickly change and start changing as it goes down the length of the rod. And that is pretty cool right there. So here, I think you guys can see that. Let me go a little bit more. So here's what I like about it, or what I'm liking so far. So it's kind of starts here, comes up, drops down, and it just keeps going around. And then it came here, and now it's bouncing back up. It's bouncing up and then starting to go up and then come back down. You can see that there. And that's pretty interesting. So I'm going to go about 2 to 3 inches just to see what we have and how it comes out. Oh, it's doing it again. So it's dropping again. Let's just keep going. So as you can see, as I was showing you, it just kind of comes around. And then it drops up and then drops back down and comes up. Now it's getting kind of into that bouncy heartbeat line, and I think it's dropping again. See right there? It kind of gets in that little heartbeat looking pattern right here, and then it looks like it's dropping right there. Let's see how far we've gone. Yeah, so I'm at about a 2 1/4. Let's just go a little bit more. And that really kind of doesn't have the steep, drop on it. Now it's starting to there at the end. It's kind of a really interesting pattern it's coming up with. All right. Yeah, so it kind of dropped off there. And it's coming back around. When you get that steep drop off like right there, and it comes back around and connects, that kind of gives us that overall pattern. So if I slide this back over to the right a little bit, and we just kind of look at all of that ups and downs. Again, this thread has the blue. It's like a light blue, a light green, and then it has this copper, orange, brown color in it. And that's the color that's given us really these lines. And again, it's code 1008, Seafoam. So that's kind of interesting. So, you can see we're coming over. That is really cool. I think that would Seafoam, I think, would be a really cool under wrap. There's a couple of the previous colors I wasn't quite impressed with, but I like how prominent this line is. And I think that would make for a great under wrap on a rod. So let's go ahead and tie this one off. 2, 3, 4, 5. One for good measure. All right. So just tying this off real quick, and then we're going to try another experiment with this. All right, cut that off. I'm just going to take a piece of scrap tape that I have, and we're going to come down the rod a little bit more here. And we're going to see what kind of pattern we get. Again, we started with the green. So there's the green, there's the orange, and then there's the blue. What if we start with the orange here? All right. So this time we started with the orange next to the tape. And then we're just going to see what kind of comes out on this one here. This will be pretty interesting. So far, I'm liking the Seafoam. Down in the comments block, let me know what you think. Are you a fan of the Seafoam so far, or not a fan of the Seafoam Versablend Pro Wrap Metallic Thread Wrap? All right. So you can see we're kind of starting to get a line in there. Kind of just spinning around, kind of barber pole-ish almost. So again, a couple things to take in consideration here. We started further down the blank, about 3 inches from where we finished the previous wrap. So that means the diameter of the rod is going to be smaller there. And then of course it's going to continue to get smaller as the blank tapers. So, and then we started with, the brown, copper, orange, color to see what that would do. So that should change our pattern a little bit. Could be tighter lines where the first wrap we had, lines that were further apart. Just mean, because we're in a smaller portion or a smaller diameter portion of the blank, we could have tighter lines. And we kind of do a little bit. We have that line comes down and around, and then, we get another one right here next to it, but it comes down there and it kind of flattens out and then drops again. So let's keep going a little bit. Of course, I'm using my Flex Coat burnishing tool to help make sure I keep packing those threads. Yeah, so it's, where the other one, we had a large space in between. I'm kind of comparing both as I go here, which we'll do here in a minute. Yeah, I think, if you're maybe bigger portion or bigger diameter rod, your line's going to be further apart. And as you get to a smaller diameter rod, your lines are going to come together a bit more, I think. But I really do, I know I've said this a couple times already, but I really do like this for an under wrap. And you know what else I think this would look great with? I'm telling you, this is pro tip for the day. I think that this color combination right here would look great with some snake skin. And just to kind of get an idea, especially if you're using, so this snake skin back here behind that is the, so this snake skin here, that is the sea snake. And then this one here, this kind of white one, is the cobra. But I really like this one with the sea snake. I get that off the light. I think that would look good with the sea snake. It'll look good with that one too, with the cobra. But that sea snake would look good. Again, because I think the copper or metallic orange, whatever you like to call this metallic color, I think that really looks good with your snake skin inlays. So we're almost done here. How far do we go? As long as we've gone a couple inches, I'll be all right. Nope, let's keep going a little bit more. So see when you pull them apart, you can see. So just looking at them side by side, right? Green, we're just going to call this metallic copper or whatever, and then the blue, and then it should repeat. So let's see what happens. And you know what we'll do is we'll make a little mark just out of curiosity. Let's see what color comes next to that. So I'm just going to make a little mark right there with that Sharpie. I'm really interested. Just see what color comes next to that. So green, copper, and then blue. What happens when we rotate it again? Gets to the green, copper, right next to that dot, and then into the blue. So you can kind of see how that's coming together and how that's working. Let me back that off a little bit. Here we go. Okay, so I think we're probably getting to the point of being finished here. Let's just see how far we went. Yeah, 2 1/4. I think that's good enough for instructional purpose. I think this is good enough to kind of demonstrate what we're doing here. So let's tie that off. All right, so pull it tight. Oh, too tight. Broke it right off for me. Okay, so here, start back right here. So this was our first part where we started, and we can see where these lines come in, these orange or copper metallic lines come in. They're kind of spaced out, right? Kind of spaced out, like it starts here and then drops. You know, we have another one here, and then quite honestly, we really don't have another one until we get over here because it adjusted, right? So it had one here, it came down and boom, then it pops up on us, then drops back down again, and then bounces a little bit here and comes back around. So there, I mean, it's a great pattern, but it is spaced out a little bit, right? Whereas when we got to a little bit smaller of a diameter on the rod, it seems like our lines, and of course we started with the brown color next to the tape versus the green on the first wrap. And so we get that line and it just kind of comes down, and we can see they're all pretty much closer together. And we don't have really any of that except for right there. We got a little bit where it stayed together. It just bounced up and down, but then it drops again. So it's a bit tighter. So your lines are going to be closer together, which I think is fine. You know, if you want, again, use this for an under wrap on one of your guide wraps or for a decorative wrap. Let me know in the comments block again. Let me know if you've used Versablend metallic threads. If you have, let me know what colors are your favorite colors or your color codes. Again, this is code 1008, which is named Seafoam. Has green, blue, and this metallic copper/orange color to it. Yeah, and I hope you got something out of it. Hey, I tell you, something I learned today is I'm going to pair this up with some sea snakeskin inlays here in the near future, and we're going to see how that comes out. So, hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe if this is your first time to the channel. Make sure you turn on notifications. And watch this next video here. Have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.